Fall is here, so it's time to cuddle up with this roasted garlic heirloom tomato soup and this Havarti smoked Gouda grilled cheese on focaccia bread. Let's get it. This is a single serving portion, so for multiple people, just double or quadruple the recipe as needed. You're going to start with 2 heirloom tomatoes and you're going to quarter these. These are going to make them perfect for roasting size. Before you put them in the oven, you want to cut out the stem because we don't want to roast that. After these are quartered, we're going to take our onion. This is an easy way to slice the onion. You slice the top and the bottom, then slice it down the middle. And then the skin comes off really nice and easily. We are going to slice our onion similar to the tomatoes. Slice it twice down the sides and then once down the middle. And then you're going to have a similar shape as the tomatoes. We're going to put these on a tray with some garlic. Now, I do suggest roasting your garlic for about 10 minutes before you put the tomatoes on here. When I roasted them at the same time, my garlic wasn't quite done, so I had to keep it in the oven a little bit longer. You're going to put everything on this baking sheet. You are going to season really heavily with salt. Tomatoes do not have a lot of flavor, so heavily salt them. Put some nice black pepper on them, and then we are going to generously put some extra virgin olive oil. This is to add flavor and to make sure they don't stick. We're going to put these in the oven and roast for about 20 minutes on 425. They're going to come out golden brown and delicious. Voila, there you go. Look at that. The tomatoes are nicely roasted, but look at my garlic. It's not done yet. Now, here comes the fun part. You're going to take everything, the roasted garlic, the tomatoes, the onions. You're going to put them in a food processor. And my secret is a little chipotle. Then you're going to add 1 cup of stock of your choice. This is chicken stock. If you want it to be all vegetarian, use vegetable stock. Then you are just going to pulse this until it's a really nice, smooth consistency. Once your soup is out of the food processor, we are going to pour this over a strainer. This is going to give you that really smooth, silky texture that tomato soup is known for. You're going to take your spoon and just circle around, making sure that the tomato soup drips back into your pan, and you are going to be left with this nice, flavorful pulp. Now look at this. It's still textured, but it's a lot smoother. With this pulp, this is where all the flavor is. We are not going to throw this away. We're going to keep this. Place your pot of soup on the stove. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. We're also going to add about a teaspoon of oregano. I'm adding half and half, but you can add heavy cream if you want yours a little thicker. We're just going to bring this up to a boil and then reduce and let it simmer. While that is coming up to a boil, we're going to take some fresh basil. Here's a cute way to cut this. Roll this up nice and tight and just take your knife and you're just going to cut through the basil, and you're going to have these gorgeous ribbons. We're going to put about a tablespoon of this into the soup. You're going to turn your soup down to a nice low temperature, and we're just going to let this simmer and let all these flavors get nice and combined. Let's work on this grilled cheese. Like I said, this is a single serving, so I'm going to cut this in 1/4. But just imagine if you have more than one person, you can fill this entire focaccia bread with cheese. I was lucky and I found one that's topped with tomatoes. What do you know about that? I am just slicing this open so I can stuff it with the beautiful cheese that I found in the deli. Now, once you have this slice, remember that pulp that I told you to put to the side? Yes, that's right. We are going to season each side of the bread with that delicious pulp. This has the garlic, the roasted tomatoes, the chipotle. Ooh, wee, look at that. That's deliciousness right there. This is a time to load this up. I have Havarti cheese. I love Havarti because it's creamy and it melts really nice. And then I have the smoked Gouda. The smoked Gouda is to mimic the chipotle that I have in the soup. So we're just going to layer this. One layer of Havarti, then another layer of smoked Gouda, and then I'm going to top it off with some Havarti because I want this extra super duper cheesy. And this bread is thick, so you want your cheese to bread ratio to be on point. Look at that. Let's put this in the skillet. It's going to get melty and ooey and gooey. Put some butter in a nice hot skillet. Twirl that around, and you're just going to put your beautiful sandwich in there. And the key is to top this so the steam can melt the cheese. Once it's done cooking for about 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to put, yes, more butter in here, and it's time to flip it. And don't forget the top so the steam can melt the cheese. Cook this for an additional 3 to 4 minutes. It's time to take it out and slice it. Look at that. The tomatoes are nice and crusted. We're going to just slice this in half and watch the magic happens. Watch the magic happen. Look at that. Is your mouth watering yet? Let me give you another closer look because I don't think you see that cheese. Let's plate this soup up real quick. Take your soup off the stove. Let's ladle it in a nice bowl. Who am I kidding? Let me just go ahead, pour all this in here because this is one single serving. I am going to add a little more smoked Gouda because I want that smoky flavor to come out. And now all you got to do is plate this up and get your favorite movie. Let's go. Bon appetit. Let's eat.